Hello, Chris the Nightbringer here, bringing you something very new. Today I am breaking down the leaked Battlefront II trailer. Yes, that's right, Star Wars Battlefront. Now this leak is pretty legit looking. It comes straight from EA's Twitter account, and I'll only be showing you still shots of the footage. If you want to watch it yourself, the search bar is within your reach, of course. Now, the first thing we see in this trailer is the Raider-class Corvette. Now this ship, I believe, was not canon in Star Wars until the Thrawn novel came out, and I think the Thrawn novel came out a day before this trailer was dropped. So this is a pretty new addition to the Star Wars canonization, right? And it's pretty exciting. It's a lovely looking ship. It's featured heavily in the trailer, and because of that, I'm thinking that it's not some background ship, it's possibly some sort of home base for the protagonist that you possibly play as during this campaign in this game. So we'll be talking more about that in a second. Next up, we have a shot of the Death Star 2 blowing up over Endor, which is absolutely great. And it looks like we have some TIE fighter pilots just hanging around below. Now this trailer is narrated from a female character, and it seems like this here might be the protagonist, or at least an important character in the campaign of this game. This narrator talks about their last orders, presumably before the Empire fell apart after the destruction of the Death Star. And this is definitely hinting at what maybe the campaign will be about, which is exciting. Something interesting to note, these TIE pilots have red striping. Now, the First Order from The Force Awakens features TIE pilots with red striping, however this is during the era of the Empire. So, chances are we are looking at the 181st Imperial Fighter Wing. This is an elite TIE unit serving the Empire and its descendants, and I may be wrong, don't quote me on this, but I believe up until recent episodes of Star Wars Rebels, this elite TIE unit was not considered canon. I could be wrong, I couldn't really find information as to when it became canon, so maybe it's a recent development and nothing's been established yet. Next, we got a shot of a TIE fighter flying around through some debris. There's a good old Star Destroyer sitting in pieces off to the right, and there are good chances that this debris field is from the second Death Star based on the narration and the scenes we are seeing. Next up, we've got a few sequences of space battles. We've got hyperspace, we've got close-ups of Star Destroyer cannons, we've got a big radar dish off to the left here. I don't know if that's from a ship or not, but it looks like the Star Destroyers are docked to a structure, so we might be getting some space stations with our space battles this time around, and that's pretty exciting. Next, we jump ahead, and we are clearly in the sequel trilogy era with Starkiller Base and the First Order. The narration continues to imply that we will be experiencing a part of this from the perspective of soldiers of the Empire and the First Order. Pretty exciting stuff. Now this shot looks great, however, I have no clue where this is. It's an Imperial occupied city during the era of the Empire. There are AT-ATs, there's explosions. This place has got trees, so I highly doubt it's Megiddo. We never saw trees on Megiddo, so I have no idea where this place is, but it looks cool and it means we'll be getting more places to explore in the Star Wars universe, and that's always a good thing. Next up, we got the Millennium Falcon fleeing First Order TIE fighters in what is presumably the Battle of Takodana. In the movie, The Force Awakens, the Millennium Falcon never fought the TIE fighters in the Battle of Takodana because they left before the Millennium Falcon even got off the ground. So this is presumably some multiplayer content we are seeing here. We've got a very short clip of a Tauntaun wiping out some miserable snowtrooper. This is definitely Hoth, and it looks like we are getting a sunset Hoth, which is fresh. It brings something new to the setting, and let's face it, Hoth has been done a lot, so you gotta get an edge up on how you present Hoth in your games, because you can only do Snow Planet so many times. And here we go. This is sure to get your lightsabers activated and extended. Darth frickin' Maul, and who's he fighting? It's Yoda. It's frickin' Yoda. Absolutely nuts. A combination you probably never thought you wanted, because I know I didn't think of Yoda fighting Darth Maul ever. But there it is, and it's apparently going to be a possibility with this game, which is just super exciting. Now here is something interesting. We see Rey, presumably on Takodana. However, she's got Luke's lightsaber in her hand, and I know you really can't see it, it's kind of tough to see, but it's definitely not a blaster. In the movie, she left the lightsaber behind. So this opens up the possibility that it won't follow the movies directly, or instead we are seeing some multiplayer content and they decided that Rey should have a lightsaber instead of a blaster because that's way more interesting. Either way, pretty exciting stuff. Next, we got some Kylo Ren, pretty sweet. It looks like a lot of this time period for the campaign is set during the latest trilogy, the sequel trilogy, so that's exciting. And of course, lastly, we got a title shot. Now, this is one thing. There's one thing here I'd like to point out. It's super important. See these ships? Those are Confederacy of Independent Systems ships, and I believe right above them are Venator Star Destroyers. It's the Clone Wars, baby, and we're going in. I know for a fact that the Clone Wars era and the Clone Wars battles is like the most requested thing of any Star Wars Battlefront fan by far. There's no doubt. Ever since the letdown of Battlefront 2015, this is like what the players have been asking for since day one of that release. So it's really exciting to finally see that maybe we'll be getting some good Clone Wars content in a Star Wars Battlefront game. As for my final thoughts, color me intrigued. It looks like the things we wanted out of a Battlefront game. We clearly have a campaign focused around a soldier. It's fresh. I doubt we will be following a single soldier for 60 years from the prequel era to the sequel era. So that leaves us with a few options. Either we focus on a story from the end of the Empire through to the age of the First Order, or we get multiple stories, multiple points of view, possibly from different factions. So maybe we have a point of view, a story or a campaign, a short campaign from a clone trooper, or eventually a stormtrooper, or a rebel trooper, and so on. I really have no idea, but the trailer is implying a very specific period of time between the Empire and the First Order, and from the perspective of an Imperial pilot. That's super exciting on its own. I am still hoping that we get campaign or some sort of storyline for other eras of the Star Wars timeline, but we'll just have to wait and see. Of course, this trailer probably will come out during Star Wars Celebration, and it'll probably come with more details. And some people are even speculating that we'll be getting a longer trailer during Star Wars Celebration. I don't see why that would happen, especially if this leak was on accident. If this leak was on purpose, I could understand that, but I don't think it was on purpose. Anyway, that's it for me. Thank you for watching. I normally don't do these types of trailer breakdowns. This is something new, and I don't really plan on doing more of them. So if it's up to my viewer base and they want this sort of thing, I'll see about doing more of them. But this is normally not my thing. I focus on StarMade related content, which is a pretty cool game you should check out if you're interested in that type of stuff. That's what I focus on mostly, but I figured I'd do this video to share my excitement for the new Star Wars Battlefront game. Anyway, thank you for watching. Hit that subscribe button, and please tell me your thoughts on this game in the comments down below, and I will see you all next time.